Ruben Dias is on his way to Man City, and it seems like a good deal. I don't think he's necessarily the first choice. He seemed to be, I think it was like a fourth choice. It was behind Koulibaly. There was Jimenez of Atletico Madrid. There was Koundé at Sevilla, and then Dias is coming in fourth. So Otamendi's gone the other way. Money's been exchanged as well. Becky, I'll start off with you. What do you reckon? Is he the defender they need?
Well, for £65 million, that's got to be one of the most expensive centre-halves in world football, behind probably Maguire and Van Dijk, I would imagine.
I can't think of anyone else who's actually more expensive. Is there anyone else that's higher?
It's got to be third, isn't it, I believe. Right. And I know you mentioned other names that City were interested in, quote unquote. But he would have been quite high at their list, I would assume, if they're paying £65 million for him. You wouldn't spend that much money on someone who you hadn't scouted quite in depth. Yeah. So watching their performance against Leicester, I'm sure we could all agree that they haven't addressed their defensive issues. People have mentioned about how it's going to be tough for Liverpool to win another league, and Man City are obviously the next favourites. Now, like I say, watching that game, it was another shit show for City defensively. When you're conceding 5 against Leicester, obviously Leicester aren't a bad side, but they shouldn't be conceding those goals at home. 3 of those were penalties, and you look at some of the fouls that their players are making for the penalties. It was really, really poor. So I'll be totally honest, I haven't watched a lot of Ruben Dias. He's coming from the Portuguese league again.
Yeah, Benfica, yeah.
And I'm sure we'd all agree, when you sign players from the Portuguese league, it's like a bag of rebels, as Paul Merson would say. You just don't know what you're going to get. It could be a Cristiano Ronaldo, like a Bruno Fernandes. It could be an Anderson. It could be a Renato Sanchez. You really don't know what you're going to get. So I think City are hoping that this is going to be a big upgrade on what they've got. Otamendi has obviously gone the other way, as you said. But if they can keep Laporte fit, which is a big if, because when he's fit, obviously we all know he's excellent. But if they can keep him fit, and this Ruben Dias turns out to be real quality, then they have solved a bit of a big issue. But I still think they're short defensively. Still think they're short in full-back areas.
What do you think, Reece?
Well, it's hard to say, isn't it?
Here we go now.
Is exactly what you said, James. What are you going to get? What you're going to get for £65 million, by the way, is a accomplished centre-half who has fought his way in through the Benfica youth ranks, has established himself in the team, so much so that he's representing his country at international level and starting for them. Somebody who is making a big money move and would be expected to go straight into the 11. Somebody so young that you can mould them into what you want. Are we talking about Lindelof here or Dias? Because they followed the exact same career trajectory, and you don't know if you're going to get another Lindelof. And if you do, then that is £65 million down the drain. Because I think we had a chat at the time, James. Lindelof was not a smart signing. He's not a great defender. He doesn't fit into the Premier League. He's not fast enough. He's not intelligent enough. He's not experienced enough, right? And I know obviously this is an unprovoked attack at Lindelof. But if we look at Dias as someone with the same profile, you'd have to hope that you're getting someone totally different. And for me, there's no way of knowing that. And £65 million to pluck a player out of the Portuguese league, huge gamble.